Hey friends, since I want this YouTube channel to be teaching you, things that an everyday homeowner should know or learn, if you ever have an issue with your outside AC unit, now I am not an AC tech, but I am a builder and work with AC techs all the time. So I believe this unit out here is called the compressor. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think that's what it's called. If you ever have your AC unit outside not blowing, meaning the fan is not turning, and you hear a humming sound like it wants to turn on, but then nothing happens, most likely it's this part right here. Right here. They call this a capacitor. It looks like a Coke bottle. Anyways, I'll show you where it goes on your unit so you can change it out and save yourself a fee of an AC tech coming out and possibly costing you over $300. This part, $37 and some change. $37 and some change. That's all it takes, and probably about 15 minutes of your time. So let me show you on the unit. Okay, here's my units right here. This was the culprit right here that was not working. It was not cooling my kids' room. And so I decided to figure it out myself, what the issue was. So you come over here to the side, and I've already undone this panel. So you take the screws out that are right here and over on the other side, and you pull this out. So let me see if I can do this with one hand. There's your capacitor. Okay, make sure you take a picture of how it's installed at the top. Okay, then you're gonna go over here to your power box. And I've already changed this out, so I'm just showing you guys. But basically you push down here, lift this up, and you have a disconnect right up here. If I were to turn this off, I would pull out that black piece right there. Pull that out, there's no power left in the unit, so you're not gonna risk hurting yourself. Then, you take each one of these wires off with a needle nose plier, or you can just use your fingers. That'll work too. And make sure you take a picture so you know how it's situated on there, so you put the new one back on the same way. So we did that, pop that new one in, put your power back on, put your panel back on, and that should solve the problem. So anyways, that should solve your problem if you have the fan blades right here not turning, but everything seems to be working fine inside. Basically, the way to tell is there's gonna be a humming sound coming from your unit wanting to turn on, and what that capacitor does is it makes the spark to turn the fan blade. Basically is the brain's telling it, hey, turn on. So that's what the capacitor does. Usually, those can last you quite a few years. This one, however, went out exactly 1 year to the day. Probably is getting a lot of heat, a lot of sunlight. We're here in the afternoon, and you can tell it's getting a lot of heat. A surge from like a storm could make it go out. So basically, if you go to any of your AC supply stores, they will have the capacitor you need. Just bring the one that you took out so they can make sure they get you the right one, because I'm sure there's different variables that you need. I don't know the exact terminology, but just wanted to let you guys know how you could change your capacitor on your compressor AC unit, so you can save yourself a couple $100 from a tech coming out just to do it for you. So there's my tip of the day. Hope you enjoyed. If you did like the video, give me a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on videos teaching you about building, construction, real estate, and all kinds of other life stuff that I have going on. So love for you to stick around and see some other videos. So make sure you're subscribed. I'll see you on the next one.